Real Madrid 0, Getafe 1 then is how it finished. You can see Real Madrid, lion's share of the chances, lion's share of possession, but once again, can't get it done. And what a gift this is for Barcelona, who find themselves 4 adrift at the top of the table. Incredible stuff there at the Santiago Bernabeu. Only the second time Getafe have won a game against their city rivals. For more, let's welcome in Shari. Mario Malkiel was watching this for us, as was Luis Garcia. Ali, I want to start with you. You look at those stats and people might think, Madrid were just a bit unlucky today, up against a great goalkeeper, a solid defence.
And no, they were not. There was something in the game that was repeated time and time again. Patterns of play. It was brought up by our commentary team, and Stewie kept mentioning it. And it sounds like a nebulous concept. Like, what does that even mean? Well, in the case of Real Madrid, it means, hey, how about you see some semblance of a game plan as to what they want to do in the attack, as they build an attack. And what is obvious to me, and it was obvious if you're watching the game, is that if there's no Kylian Mbappe, they're going to say, well, Vini is going to be really the player that is going to do something for us offensively. And rightfully so. But you have to have variety to your attack. If you're going to break through a team like Getafe that are so well suited to defend, organized behind the ball, there has to be variety. It can't just be the ball being played to Vini and then touch, which we mentioned at halftime. Nothing really comes of it. Turnover, and now Getafe goes in the attack. And then this happened regularly. Again, as it pertains to patterns of play, there just isn't for Real Madrid. That's why it's brought up all the time. There isn't, hey, we complete couple of passes here, we find the center forward, he drops the ball off, we find the switch to the point of attack to turn Alexander Arnold on the other right-hand side. We've changed the attention from Getafe just from the left-hand side to then they have to go over to the right-hand side, and then we're serving the ball into the box, and you have attacking players joining from the midfield. None of that is happening organically for Real Madrid. There isn't a game plan per se as to how is it that we're going to break this team that is so organized behind the ball. And that in itself, it's troubling. It's troubling not because it's just this game, it's because it happens regularly with Real Madrid, that there isn't a real idea, plan, identity. How are we going to go about breaking teams down? It has been, up until now, individual brilliance. Today, that wasn't enough.
Yeah, Luis, this is Getafe, let's not forget. 16 times in a row they've gone to the Santiago Bernabeu and lost. This is a game that Real Madrid traditionally win and win easily. But yet again, as we've seen throughout this season, Ali sums it up perfectly. There's just no cohesion in this side whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that is not from today or from the last week. We've seen the whole season when Xabi Alonso was in charge, even when Ancelotti was in charge. But some of the results, they were in their side, so they won a couple of leagues. At the moment, you could see that there is not creativity in the middle of the park, so those problems to bring the ball in good condition to the players up front. Today it was all about Vini Juniors. How can we bring that ball to Vini Junior as quick as possible? Because he's the only one who can be a threat, who can be that line of five players that Bordalas, the manager of Getafe, has put in front of you, and nothing else. And we saw and we talked about it. Ale mentioned in the last game that Gonzalo played in the 11 started because Kylian Mbappe wasn't ready. He's a player who is good, very good in his movement, in his awareness inside the box, in his finishing, going in the air, but also with his feet. Alexander Arnold was today in charge of trying to bring that balls to Vini Junior or to the players running from the midfield into the second line. Nothing happened in that occasion. No one chance Alexander Arnold put a good ball for Gonzalo, or a good ball for Vini Junior in the run, or someone from the middle of the park. 3 midfielders, no one making any run into the second line. So in the end, for Getafe line of defense, it was fantastic. We just have to double up in the Vinicius Junior side, and that's about it. And that's what they did in the second half, and it worked perfectly. So in the end, Getafe deserved this win because they had a plan. They executed it perfectly, and Bordalas knew that at some point they would have that opportunity to score that first goal.
Mario, what would you like to say about this, sir?
Says, like if you play against a team that is, doesn't have the quality like you also have to remember that they're going to defend so fast. If you see the tempo they were playing in the first half, how quickly they even if they lost the ball, everybody was back in their position. So you have to come up with something creative. And I was waiting for something creative. And still, look, put everything to a side. Away from them not being so creative like what we expect from Real Madrid, they still had enough opportunities to score a goal. Because even towards the end, the opportunities, Rodrigo had two, Vini, of course, in the start he had one, and then, the header from Rudiger, and then I don't know what happened to, the young man. He tried to header the ball, Dean Huijsen, but I think he was looking at the post. Mm-hmm. Just like Ellie said, I think he was worried more about the post. So overall, what I think the key thing for them is, regardless if you miss some of your key players, like, an Mbappe and something that can open things up for you, and even when you're stuck, you still have to manage to open, and don't put it on one individual, because that one individual, like you guys said, they doubled them up and it's finished. One closes the inside, Iglesias closes the outside, and then it's finished. It's finished. You cannot dribble them.
What's Arbeloa doing in training, Ali? What are they doing?
Well, this is a very good question, Dan. And some people may think that is a joke of a question, but it's not. It is a fair question. What are they doing in training? Because it doesn't show up on the field. Now, this is what we do for a living. We watch games time and time and time again, and we analyze the games. And part of what we analyze and look for is, okay, what is the game plan? What is it that this team is going to depend on in order to win matches consistently? And I'm so surprised that Getafe sat behind the ball today. Everybody coming into this match would have known that was going to be the game plan of Pepe Bordalás and Getafe. So it should not be a surprise to Arbeloa, nor should it be a surprise for Real Madrid. And yet, what's obvious to me is that because there doesn't seem to be a game plan, and things are not going their way, and it's not as smooth as they thought it was going to be, instead of problem solving, they start pointing the finger. They start pointing the finger at the referee. They start pointing the finger at the other team. People are getting frustrated with themselves, with others. Now they're getting caught up with the boos of the crowd, and they lose sight of what's going to make them a successful team. And that is playing at a high level consistently, regardless of the opposition. And so there is, to answer your question, because I've taken the cynic route to get there, to answer your question, I don't see what the work has been in training. And he hasn't been with the team just for a week now. It's been a while. You need to see what has been the impact and what is the difference of this group from what it was as to what you want it to become. And that just hasn't appeared. To the point that Luis was making, and it's something that I brought up at halftime, given the player personnel that you have on the field, if you have Alexander-Arnold out there, it's because he's going to give you service. And there was no service coming because all the play was going down the left-hand side. And so it's not just us picking on Vini. It's not just us picking on Alexander-Arnold. It's not just us saying that Gonzalo Garcia was ineffective. It's looking at the totality of the game and saying, if you have that guy over there and you're not using him, and you have this guy inside the 18-yard box and you're not using him because there is no service, because this guy is not providing service, and all the ball is over there, and you're being ineffective in what you do over there, why is there not a change? Yeah. And nothing really changed at halftime either. So it's not only what's not happening in the training facility, it's also what's not happening during halftime. You asked me when we went after halftime, what is he saying right now? I don't know that it really matters, because these players did not take that on board when Xabi Alonso was sitting on the bench, and they're not taking it on board now with Arbeloa either.
And there's evidence of that. Obviously, Luis as well mentioned Ancelotti, Mario. You think towards the end of his tenure, Xabi Alonso and now Alvaro Arbeloa, this is clearly a squad of players who aren't doing as they're told?
Yeah, because you know what the thing is? When you come at this team, you got to understand how you talk to them, because they're exceptional. That's why you go to Real Madrid. The Madrid is, you have a group of stars and you manage to make a team out of them. But the key thing is that you got to maximize it. Like if you look at the game was not even like you're playing against one of the key figures in the league. What did they, 14th or something in the league? So if you play against them, you also got to remember, you only have a left winger. Okay, Valverde on the right, tucks inside. Then you have a striker, Garcia, that is waiting to do something. When you come on, it's different. And he had moments, you understand, I definitely saw him scoring goals and opening things up. But sometimes when the weight is really on your shoulder, you need a little bit more. And that is the thing that he now has to figure out. What am I going to do now? Is my team now going to play like simple and not being creative and don't use the intelligence of what every individual have and just put out my system and say, do this and do that? No, Madrid never been like that. The joy of Madrid is seeing, flexibility and seeing different things. That's why they buy so many stars.
Mario, can I ask you about Rudiger? I'm not suggesting that you've ever done this, but does he know what he's doing?
Come on now, come on. If this is an accident, I've never been a footballer.
Luis?
What, Luis, what? What do you want me to say? That he's an accident? No, it's not an accident. Half of the things that Rudiger does into the box, in his box, in the other opponent's box, in the middle part, half of them, they are on purpose. They is all intentional because he knows what he's doing. Every single time that he's going around and something happened around that it looks like, oh, no. I mean, sorry, I didn't want it. 100% of those is because he's done it in purpose. He's a nasty player because they are players who arrive, they are, sloppy, they arrive late, they kick you, but you know who are the nasty ones. You know that they do it, they are waiting for the opportunity to. Carvajal is another one. He's a very nice guy, but when he's on the field, when he's blocking you, when he's pushing you, he knows what he's doing. But that's the style of player that they are. But today, that knee is on purpose 100%.
Who tackles the ball with their knee from that sort of position? Nobody. Nobody does.
And by the way, tackle. That's the one that can't tackle.
And if you were going to tackle the ball, first you would have had to have gone through the Getafe player that's laying on the ground, right? Let's assume that he's going to go and challenge the ball with his knee because apparently that's what he thought was the correct decision. Then why do you miss the ball entirely?
Yeah.
The ball is not even close to the face of the Getafe
jaw
player.
got in the way of the
yes. It's his fault. It's his fault. Why is your jaw there? It is clearly something that was intentional. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's surprising that that VAR doesn't get involved, but then it comes down to the interpretation of, well, he was going for the ball and he was slipping with his right leg. No chance. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Bad news all round, really, for Real Madrid. Rubbish performance on the pitch, which, of course, didn't include Kylian Mbappe. Real Madrid released a statement before kickoff addressing his injury. And we've been talking about the fact, it's only a little knock. That's what Arbeloa described it as. Well, it's a strained knee, which has been confirmed. It is something he's been carrying for a while. Suggestions, of course, that it happened back in the Copa del Rey in that nonsense game that he started, chasing that record for the amount of goals in a calendar year. Luis, all round, this seems to be badly handled, and now Real Madrid are very much facing the repercussions of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that everything is, if definitely, because we don't have all the information from the dressing room, but it looks like everything started from those moments. When Kylian Mbappe started this season, he started on fire, he was sharp, he looked fast, he was clinical, he's been the top scorer of the league, of Real Madrid, and the leader up front that was helping to getting the results. And I think that at some point he didn't realize that that's going to have a bad ending, because you cannot play 70 games or 60 games a season at the highest level. There is no way that you can do it on these days, because you got international game, Champions League games, La Liga, and Copa del Rey. And at some point you have to decide where I'm going to be able to give 100% and when I have to rest. And I think that wasn't handled pretty well. At that stage, you could see that he was Kylian Mbappe not at his best, that he was having some little problems on the knee, and now we realize that it wasn't not just a little thing. It was actually something very serious that now he has to be taken care. Now that is the most important moment of the season. Everybody knows February, March, Champions League is back, the league is getting out to the end of the season, and those are the most important moments. So yeah, I don't think that they have them very well. Not Kylian Mbappe and his situation, not the way that they have been using him during the rest of the season.
Can I just say that it's not a good look for Real Madrid when Kylian Mbappe decides that he is better off going to check with specialists that he's more comfortable in France. That all along this has been sold as pequeñas molestias, niggly injuries. He'd be fine, just a little rest here and there, and he's going to be good. And so you have a medical team of a club like Real Madrid that you have to imagine have the best minds as it pertains to this sort of injuries available to them in Madrid, in Spain. He takes a good look at whatever they've been doing, and he goes, nah, this is not good enough for me. I have to go get a second opinion. It paints a picture of a medical team that doesn't know what they're doing. Now, I don't know whether that's accurate or not, but that's the picture it paints. And it also paints a picture that your best player, your most important asset, doesn't trust the medical team that you have available. Yeah. All of that is a negative. Because as it pertains from here on out, not only just this injury, but any other injury that comes forth for Kylian Mbappe, what do you think he's going to do? Yeah. Listen to this medical squad, or he's going to go to the ones that he trusts? And the ones that he trusts are not in Madrid.
Mario, how much of a case of this is Kylian Mbappe dictating whether he plays or not? We go back to the Talavera game, of course, in the Copa del Rey, scores 2 goals. But in paper, this is a game that Real Madrid should win easily against lower league opposition. How much is that him saying, look, I want to, well, it's got to be him saying, I want to play, because you can't imagine that at the time it was Xavi Alonso who stopped him, and you can't imagine Alvaro Arbeloa doing that now. Is it a case there isn't a strong enough manager structure in place to be able to tell him no?
Yeah, but this is not something that, Dan, this is not something that is only Kylian Mbappe had. We are all sitting there, you understand? We all are footballers. It's very difficult for a coach to tell us that we cannot play when we want to play. Because if we know that we're part of his starting 11, it's rarely that we say like, I don't want to play today. The chances are really, really like, yeah, if you bring me to, I'll give an example. We play Oxford out away in December when it's freezing cold. Yeah, I might say to you like, hey, guys, listen, this is a friendly game. Do I really need to play it? But when this is any game that you play in Spain or in the Champions League or for his country, I totally understand him. And what Ali said about injuries, I remember, like even as a pro, and I thought this was already cleaned up. I thought it was cleaned up already then. I did not think this, we were talking about in 2026, that a player would come and ask to go to his country to do a rehab or a double check. I did it when I was playing in England. I did it at every team I was. I said, whenever I get injured, before I sign my deal, I said, I want to make sure that I can go back home to Holland and to make sure I have my own team there and fix me really quickly and quicker than you guys could do it. And they always turned up. And you know, like normally they will say like, it takes 3 weeks. I will make sure it's 2 weeks. So I always get the benefit of saying like, guys, you know what they can do and what you can do. But this shouldn't be. This is Real Madrid. It shouldn't be like that because they have the capability to get anybody there because anybody wants to go there. And when you talk about individuals that when they want to play and when they not play, look, of course we have experience. Of course we know when we have to protect ourselves. But when you're just a new player at Madrid, and I don't want to say very new because he's a top player, but still, he still has the feeling of I want to prove a point in the sense of when I can play, I want to score as much as I can and prove you, everybody is watching me, I am the guy that you should be watching. So that's why he's always going to play. Does he do it well? No, of course. This brings out that it was a bit too long.
Let's focus on what has been a great 24 hours for Barcelona. Haven't even kicked a ball yet. They see, of course, Real Madrid dropping points. And now it's all about tomorrow. It's all about the most unlikely of comebacks. They are 4-0 down. Of course, remontada is a word that is being used a lot in the Spanish media after what happened against PSG. Barca 7-1. 4-0 down, but they of course have a certain teenager who shone at the weekend, his first ever professional hat-trick with Lamine We Can, says the front page of Mundo Deportivo. It's a big ask, isn't it? Falls a bit too much, isn't it, Luis?
Yes, I think it's a little bit too much. It's not that because they cannot do it, it's not because they cannot win the game. I think that, of course, after what we've seen this Barcelona side, we know that they can score goals and many during a game. But those moments of back in the days, Paris Saint-Germain, Sergio Roberto, last minute and going through, I think it's going to be very difficult. First of all, because, yes, Barcelona can score goals, but this season is being very vulnerable. They look like every single game they give away a few options to the opponent to score, and Atletico Madrid is not a random team. They know what they are doing.
The people that are making the argument for la remontada, the comeback for Barcelona, are forgetting one very basic thing. This Barcelona team did lose 4-0 to Atletico Madrid. They did give up 4 goals, and it could have been more. While I have no doubt that Barcelona has an opportunity to win the match, what I also have no doubt is that they will leave all sorts of spaces for Atletico Madrid as they desperately push forward to somehow make this happen. And yes, to your point, Dan, 5-3 seems very likely. And it actually, I would be surprised if it wasn't like that. I would be surprised if it was just, kind of no drama, 2-0 Barcelona wins and Atletico Madrid advance. I don't think that's the sort of game that we're going to see. Yes, 5-3, 7-4, whatever you want to call it, it's going to get out of control.
Mario, some have accused football being a bit boring these days. Tomorrow will be anything but that, won't it?
Oh, yeah, man, but this is what you like to watch, right? Because, even with these guys, look, guys, if I had the opportunity to sit with all four of you and watch this game, I'd be more than happy, guys. You know why?
I'm off, Mario,
because this is football. This is football. This is football. Even I will get him even over. Even if he's in Spain, I'll say, hey, brother, come over, man. Let's watch some football. Because this is the game, guys. If you don't look, and what I always ask myself, why everybody, when they turn up at Barcelona, it looks like everybody's a little bit tired because they are too much in the, when they look around the stadium, the beauty and everything. I hope that doesn't happen to Atletico because sometimes I see, and they had it too, but I hope it doesn't happen in this game. I want to see a real football game where two teams go at it, regardless if Barcelona is at home.
Yeah, what about Atletico Madrid's approach? Very interesting press conference, very interesting, brave, stupid question from a Barcelona media member. Here it is.
Con el 4-0 de la ida, justo después de ese marcador, se dieron muchos comentarios sobre la situación que hacía que si había un equipo que podía no pasar a la final o perder esta ventaja era el Atleti. ¿Cómo lo asimila el entrenador de un equipo que ha sido capaz de ganar por 4-0?
¿Cómo es la pregunta? A ver, de vuelta, fue medio confusa.
Hubo muchos comentarios alrededor de la situación. En el ambiente, en los medios, en tertulias.
No opino de lo que opinan los demás.
¿Opina que puede ser el Atleti?
Yes! Luis, he's your mate.
I totally understand. I mean, if you are looking to go through a final and you won 4-0 and you hear a question about is your team gonna lose the game big time? So you are that bad that you're gonna miss this chance? Yeah, I think it's not the right question. I think that at this moment is more about how are you going to try to stop Barcelona, not how are you going to try to defend yourself or not conceding 4 goals. So, I don't know. This kind of question is the ones that I don't understand. So, I think the Simeone was right. I totally didn't agree with him.
But if you're the journalist, own it. You ask the question. Don't say, well, people are talking about it. People have been saying, who are these people? Yeah. Own it. You say, hey.
I would have said Luis Garcia.
Yeah, yes.
That's who said it. I heard Luis Garcia.
Luis Garcia said that you guys are going to give all of this up and la remontada is happening.
Yeah, Mario agreed. Mario Malkia
yes,
as well.
Absolutely.
Both of those.
Own it.
I'm watching. I'm the witness.
Oh, man. Does anyone think it's going to happen? Mario, do you think we're going to see it? Will Barcelona get through?
It's a tough one, guys. I don't want to upset you guys, but own it. Own it. Okay, I don't think this is going to happen.
Okay, well, you can see it all play out.
That's what people are saying.
It's brilliant. It's why we love this game tomorrow. It should be fantastic. Barcelona against Atleti, live on ESPN Plus. Coverage starts at 2:30 Eastern. Then we're back on Wednesday. Real Sociedad against Athletic Club. Real will, of course, with a 1-0 lead going into that tie. From the excitement of Barcelona against Atleti to Arsenal, Chelsea. Anyway, what should we talk about? Let's talk about Pedro Neto, shall we? Because apparently he didn't know that he was already on a yellow card. He, of course, got sent off in the second half. Chelsea down to 10 men once again. Boys, you've all played. Mario, obviously you've played at this level. Is it feasible that he didn't know he was already on a yellow?
Come on, guys. Look, when you play football, there is one thing on your head, on your mind, and it doesn't matter who you play against. You know when you got booked because you always put in your mind, like maybe a defender has more than an attacker, but you know that, hey, listen, I got to be careful now because the next one could be I'm going home. So for him now to say that he didn't know the head, and also the other part is how many red did Chelsea already had this season, and he knows he's part of that team. Being part of a team that's got booked, what is it, 9 or whatever number you want to call it, And then you say, I didn't know? No, that's not possible. He knew that he had the yellow card, and he knew, like, the tackle that it was a tackle. I call this a tackle that I don't want to do that run with you.
Yeah.
That's the tackle I call it.
It's exactly what Frank described it as yesterday, lazy. He says a lazy attacking challenge, and he gets booked as a result. Why are your team so naughty? Why does everyone keep getting sent off, Mario?
Because sometimes, normally you have one guy in the team, you understand, like a Rudiger, that puts his foot down and everybody's like, okay, but now everybody's joining in, and that's not a good thing. And I talked about it yesterday, actually, and I said that too. And I said, the key thing now is you want everybody to be fiery, but you also have to have people that can control themselves. And at the moment now, it looks like everybody wants to prove a point, and I have to be careful because it's going to cost them a lot. And you can see now, you understand, Neto is a very important team player, and you don't want to miss him because the speed, the breaks, the dribbles that he makes and everything. You don't, just anybody. Come on, guys. You don't have time for this, especially when you play against Arsenal. They're good at knowing to get you a foul.
Can I ask you a question?
You
usually ask the questions. I don't want to.
You can ask me whatever you want, Ali.
I don't want to take your role. This is just one single question, Dan. Sorry. What do you think is dumber? To not know that you're on a yellow card, or make the argument that you didn't know you were on a yellow card, or to make that challenge when you're already on a yellow card?
That's a very good question, Ali.
Well,
you tell me.
Yeah.
It's got to make that challenge, surely.
Well, yes, but to make the argument that you don't know you're on a yellow card and to think that people are going to believe that, I think that breaks through the threshold of dumb. That takes it to a different entirely level.
It's a great defense. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know it was.
Don't give me a second yellow for that. Look, I'm sorry. That's all we're going to talk about, Arsenal-Chelsea. You talked about it a lot yesterday. I'm sorry.
What about the set pieces? You don't want to talk about that?
Set pieces. Arsenal are going to win the league. It's all fine.
my God.
It's all right. Obviously, very much in a relegation scrap, in big trouble. They're just lucky that Nottingham Forest and West Ham are in this league as well. 4 points of difference. Obviously, Igor Tudor coming in. This is what he had to say about his team's performance so far.
I said to the players, it's always what you're gonna do, what you want to do with yourself. You know, more personality, more wish to do before reacting. You know, plenty of things, lot of things. We are lack when we attack. We are lack of the quality to score the goal. We are lack in the middle to run, and we are lack behind to stay there and suffer and not concede the goal. So amazing situation, amazing.
I tell you, with that inspiration, I really think Spurs are going to battle on now and win every game. Mario, why are you doing that publicly?
This is my question too, because I think you just 2 games as a manager at a club that needs a big push and a big change. And what are the key thing in this club? What they're missing is players with confidence. And then you're going to come out and say that? No, that means like you're almost at the end already. He's almost talking like he's at the end.
Yeah.
10 games on the truck, they keep on losing? No, this is not the great tactic for him. And that's why I don't understand it. Look, he might have his thought process, and I think he has it prior than when he took the job. So I'm sure that he's aware of what he thinks and what he wants to do. But now you are in this position, coach. You need to bring confidence to the players and make them feel I'm protected by whatever comes out is just to protect us. And what is inside, you can do whatever you want. So he has the right to say whatever he wants in the team, but don't do it publicly because protect those guys.
There are 2 things already that have gone on with Igor Tudor that already concern me. and it seems too soon, but I'm already concerned. The reports of him having the team running the beep test endlessly last week in preparation for the match in the weekend, that in itself is what in the world are you doing and what do you think you're going to get out of that? And 2, you come in as a manager and while, you may point the finger at the players internally, the one thing that you need to do is to gain the trust of those players. Whatever you may think of those guys, however limited you think the talent level is, or however limited you think the personnel that you have available is, those are your guys right now, and they have to be at their very best for you. And in order for them to do that, you have to gain their trust. They have to be able to trust that what you say has value and has weight and has validity. When the first thing that you do is to grab those players and throw them squarely under the bus, the disconnection has already started. The fracture has already started. They didn't like you much when you had them running beep tests because they're probably asking the same question as I am. How is this going to help us over the weekend?
Yeah.
And then you follow that up with, don't look at me. It's this guy's. No character, no personality, no this, no that, and no. How are the players supposed to trust this guy now? Difficult to figure out.
Mario, your reaction to the report Jules put up yesterday, of course, them doing beep tests ahead of this game.
Yeah, look, I did peep tests, but I never did peep tests with the max because we would do it till 7. And 7 is just to get you a sweat and have a test then and seeing like, they will check your heart rate, they will check your blood, just to have an understanding of what's going on in your body and seeing what level of fitness are you. Are you too fit or you do fatigue or whatever, you need recovery or whatever. But when he's going to do it to the max, you're in the Premier League, guys, when it comes to the max, you can literally train and figure out like, okay, those guys are not fit enough, we got to work on them. But you're not going to bring down your whole team. You're new. You also, as a coach, have to understand how this league works. And then you're going to do all these things? Nah, look, I think, look, he has experience, but don't overplay the books because you have to understand this game, when it comes to the battle in England, is based on a lot of confidence. And if you take that away from the players, you have a shell, you have a team without a shell. You know, it's like it's empty. So you got to figure this out really quickly because if not, 4 points away from the drop and never a club that never been in the drop. Oh my God, this is going to be, who can handle this? That's the question he should ask himself. Who in my team can handle this that I brought to the club? Because he has a lot of new players there that they spend a lot of money on. And I don't know if those individuals are ready to battle it out at the bottom.
Battling relegation. Huge surprise. Manchester United are sitting 3rd in the table. Interesting stuff, I suppose, from Ruben Amorim's assistant, saying, in Manchester, I like the city a lot and the way that the fans live and breathe football, more focused on the project than on immediate results. What I liked less was undoubtedly feeling that ideas were not being fully implemented.
Okay.
Well, I suppose, what's he going to say, Mary? They wanted more time, like you had time. Like they can't say, yeah, we mucked it up.
No, I can say you want more time. I understand, Ali. You know what they wanted to do, Ali? They wanted to go and have some dinner and talk about it and really with the owners and say like, don't worry, next season we're going to be better. No, guys, it doesn't go like that. You got to figure it out now. You got to do it now. And don't be stubborn. Like whatever club you go to now, if it doesn't work out straight away, okay, the size of Man United, you maybe not, you understand, it's not going to be quickly available for you. Or, you know, a Man United, a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, you know, like those kind of teams or another team in England, it's crucial. But if you get players that are not performing and then you get a Sesko making that kind of goal for you, oh my God, guys, that means like now as a guy, it's a different person. And then Fernandes is playing football the way he wants to play football. He's not playing football that I got to be on the side and I got to track back and be in the middle. No, if you see the second half that Man United played yesterday, it was incredible. That kid was like, he was playing football like he was in the park. And that is what he's good at. But Amorim could not get that out of him.
This is a really good example as to how powerful of a brand Manchester United really is. Even when they have had their struggles. That we are here talking about a quote from, not from Ruben Amorim, but his assistant coach, Adelio Candido, that somehow he makes this show because he's saying, I like the city. It's all right. You can go out to eat. It was fine. We would have liked some more time. How about, look, I suppose you want to defend yourself under Ruben Amorim.
Of course.
That's obvious. But here's the problem, and it's really damning evidence for the both of them, Adelio Candido and Ruben Amorim. This same group of players with a different manager is winning games while you guys were not. So no, you did not deserve more time.
A lot more. Nando's. I bet he went to Nando's, Mario.
Yeah,
Mario loves a Nando's.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm going soon again. Don't worry about it, Dad.
You need to get some sponsorship. A lot more on what happened this weekend. Manchester United, of course, beating Crystal Palace on the latest edition of the Gavin Jules Show. let's take it to Florida, shall we? MLS Orlando City taking on Inter Miami. The Florida derby. Lionel Messi starting, 18 minutes into this one. Rodrigo de Paul, of course, who said that it was easier to win the Champions League than MLS Cup, gives the ball away.
Okay.
And Passer here would make it 1-0.
It's a good finish, but it's the second game in a row where Rodrigo Paul loses the ball in a bad area, ends up in a goal, and then this is just great combination for Orlando City and Martin Ojeda. What a finish this is on the give and go, a little hold-up play, and then outside of the foot. This is nice and tasty.
Oh, lovely. Different second half, game of two halves. You could say it's 3 minutes in. Silvetti here would make it 2-1.
Goalkeeper takes forever to get to this ball, and it's a great strike, dipping, but the goalkeeper, for whatever reason, is already moving to his left, can't get there to his right.
And then Lionel Messi gets involved. Oh.
Yeah, never mind who the goalkeeper is, he's not getting there. The hit is just clean as clean can be from Lionel Messi, 2-2.
And then Orlando trying to play out from the back here. And it's Segovia who will make it 3-2.
It's not just Segovia, man. Telasco Segovia. Oh. Vamos, Venezuela!
Ah, I see. 87th minute here. Messi's pushed over. He wants a card. And indeed, he gets one. Orlando down to 10.
Well, yeah, that'll qualify as a second yellow. And while we'll give this goal to Messi, of course, he puts it on target. Man, the goalkeeper.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
What I see, he scored more free kicks than penalties.
Boy, well.
There we go.
Catastrophic.
I think he said he'll give you my autograph now to the Orlando bench.
All right, that's nice.
Yes.
I like it.
Love it.
Edgy.
100 days till the World Cup, celebrated on Football Americas tonight. Join Alexis, Casey and Herc, 8:30 Eastern. So just a reminder, Real Madrid 0, Getafe 1 is how it finished in our featured game at the Santiago Bernabeu. Alex Kirkland was there for us. He joins us now. Alex, you've just been at the press conference. I imagine the vibe was, what's the word? Rather low?
Yeah, sorry to keep you waiting, Dan. The vibe from Jose Bordalas of Getafe was pretty ecstatic. He was enjoying every minute of their first win here in 18 years. As you'd expect. Alvaro Arbeloa, a bit defensive, I would say, insisting that his team had created more chances than Getafe. He said, I cannot criticise the effort of my players, but of course he admitted, yes, they could have played better. He was asked, is the title race over? He said, no, that would be premature. It's 4 points. He said there are 36 points left to play for, I think, which I think the maths is right. And he said, we will fight for every single one of those points. So like I say, a little bit defensive. The one thing he did accept was that he said, I don't know what Mastantuono said to pick up the red card, but he said he must have said something, and that can't happen. And also the fact the likes of Dean Howson gets the yellow and is suspended as well, I think, for the next game coming up. That's not ideal as well. So admitted one or two things, but overall, like I say, a little bit defensive and saying, no, look, we played okay, we played better, we had chances, we just didn't take them.
How are the fans?
I mean, it's quiet out here now, but that's because some of the fans were getting out of their seats and heading for the exit before the final whistle, and so now quite a bit afterwards it's quiet outside the Bernabeu. The fans, they were not happy. They were not happy at all with the performance, with the results. There were whistles, there were some chants aimed at, one or two chants I heard aimed at the president, not widespread, but one or two of those. There were whistles during the game as well. For example, when the youngster Thiago Pitach was substituted, there were definitely clear whistles there for Arbeloa, the coach, and for that decision. Arbeloa said, I get that, I understand that. Thiago played really well. It wasn't about his performance, that wasn't why I took him off. It was tactical.
And meanwhile, it's Celta Vigo now on Friday, Alex. A game in which they should have been playing to go above Barcelona.
Yeah, not an easy place to go, Balaida. Celta having a pretty good season. Celta playing good football, playing a more kind of cohesive, coherent, entertaining football than Real Madrid right now. That's going to be a tough game. Look at the absentees. You know, no Kylian Mbappe, no Jude Bellingham. Like I say, the likes of Mastantuono tonight picking up a suspension, question marks at the back and in midfield. And today, Arbeloa, he couldn't find the solution. He sort of threw players on. You end up with Rodrigo on there, Mastantuono on there with Vinicius and Gonzalo Garcia. None of it worked. Right now, look, if Madrid play anything like they played tonight against Celta, they're not getting a win at Balaidos. The improvement will have to be substantial, I think.
Alex, as always, so thank you very much, much appreciated. Just a reminder, of course, plenty of action to come not only in the Copa del Rey, but La Liga as well. You got Rayo Vallecano taking on Oviedo, and then a full programme this weekend, including Barcelona and the new San Mamés away against Athletic Club. Real Madrid, of course, in action on Friday, as we mentioned, against Celta Vigo. All those games, as always, live on ESPN+. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for all your questions. Ali is here. Mario joins us as well. How you been, Mario? All good?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. I'm good.
Good man. Right. Did you guys enjoy the Getafe time-wasting masterclass? How frustrating is it to play in a game against a team who have mastered the dark arts? Mario?
It's tough, but it happens. I mean, look, we also have to, give them credit, because when you're not the team that has the capabilities as a side like Real Madrid, you're gonna open all the tricks you get. And one of the tricks is the one I hate the most when I play against teams like that. But still, they're out there, they're gonna wait, kick the ball away, get fouls, go down. The goalkeeper can catch the ball normally. No, he goes down and he rolls on the floor. Oh man, all those stuff, hey, that's part of the game, guys. And I'm sorry, I didn't make it up. But I don't like it, but it's just part of the game, and I understand it when it happens.
I didn't think they were that dark arty.
No, but it's within the personality of Bordalás's team to have this sort of this edge or this preconception about them, that they're going to do something within the boundaries of the game that you kind of go, well, that's not, that's borderline. One of the things, and I don't know whether Mario is going to enjoy this or not, but one of the things that as a player, when we were under pressure, I knew full well that what the time was and what my job was at that point. How do we close this out? We know we're under pressure. We know we are a lesser team. What do I need to do? How do I make myself useful? And the oldie but a goodie that I don't know that people do nearly as well as they once did, when you are brought down and it's a foul, you got to give it the old roll to grab enough attention from the referee to now consider the possibility of bringing the medical staff in. But right before he's about to bring him in, then you get yourself to one knee and give the thought that
what masterclass this is.
You give the thought that maybe you're okay to continue.
Yes.
Then you get yourself up, you talk to the referee, now we're walking away, and now this is not time added. You see that we've continued the time without anybody coming in, and referees usually will not add those extra 30 seconds. So what I would suggest is that people are not willing to go through this process to actually finish the game in the way that you wanted to finish, and Getafe, to the point of the question, did a very good job of doing that today.
Mario, how hard would you have wanted to kick Ali?
Oh my God, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I swear on my life, I'm thinking of that. I'm saying, Ali, man, we were in the same game. Ali, oh my God, my friend, listen, I will give you a hug before the game. I will give you a hug after the game, but you in the game, I will kick you so hard and you will remember every part of my stunt.
Wait, but what about if I were your teammate and I was doing that for us, Mario? That's different.
If someone kicks you, then I come for you, my friend, because you cannot touch Ali.
There you go.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Real Madrid losing, of course, against Getafe today in La Liga. Yeah. The last time they lost against Getafe at Bernabeu, I was there. I was working for Real Madrid TV.
So
there you go. That was a long time ago, 17
Are you the common denominator then?
I don't know about that. Arbeloa, will he last the season?
Now, I think if you have made this change and you made the decision that you're going to ride or die with this guy till the end of the season, the bigger question is he going to be around next season? And that's very much result dependent. And right now, the answer to that question is more likely to be no than yes.
Yeah, I think very.
Yes, very more than likely.
Yes, very more.
Exceptionally more than likely.
Is it time for Florentino Perez to step down? Madrid's recent downfall is mostly because of his failures to sign adequate replacements for the older players who left recently. Kroos and Modric, the big...
Yeah, and so you're going to hang on to that. But the signings at the time were not thought to be failures. See, when Real Madrid went after Tchouaméni, when they went after Camavinga, and you already had Valverde in place, you're thinking, potentially these players are going to become the substitutes to guys like Modric and Kroos. And at that point, Real Madrid didn't look like a team that was just freely spending without a thought process. In fact, the conversation would have been, hey, they're getting ahead of the curve and they're banking on guys like Tchouaméni and Camavinga to develop. That just hasn't happened. So I don't know that you can put that on Florentino Perez. At some point, you also have to look at what these players were supposed to be, and they haven't become what they were expected to become.
Ali, what's the best South American national team you played against during your time with Venezuela?
Brazil.
Oh, who did they have, Ali?
I mean, let me just say, I had a very comfortable seat on the bench for this one, so that I was able to evaluate and analyze everything that was going on.
What was your analysis of the Brazil side?
We're about to get our backsides handed to us.
Just give us some players who are there.
It's Ronaldinho, it's Ronaldo, it's Cafu on the right-hand side, Roberto Carlos on the other side, and you're going, oh, mommy. And we started the game off well, and we were knocking the ball around, and we were at Brazil, and you know you're in trouble when you're knocking the ball around, right? And the Brazilian fans who have packed the stadium, they're still going ta 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 eh. They were not concerned about us at all. And sure enough, when they decided to pick up the pace and turn to a different sort of gear, a different type of level, it was bang, 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 goal, and you're like, oh. But I thought we were doing.
Ali warm up. Oh no.
No. Well, that's also the difference. It's like, all right, who do we have on the bench? No.
Mr. Get up from injury takes 10 minutes.
Yes.
That doesn't help us now.
Who do they have on the bench? Oh, it's Adriano. All right, hey, is that Robinho? Yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, no. It's and the Argentina team when Maradona took over as the coach, at one point on the field you had. In the back line, you had Zanetti, who was an older player. Yeah. But as you sort of look into the rest of the team, Verón was playing, and he was heavily booed by the Argentinian fans, which I didn't quite understand. But then it was Messi, it was Agüero, and you're thinking, and these are, young Messi, young Agüero, and the conversations were like, are they going to be able to play together? And then the sort of controversial decision is Higuaín really going to play? And at this point, Higuaín was scoring a bunch of goals for Napoli, and you're thinking, we don't have those kind of problems in Venezuela.
Right.
So, yeah, different level.
Mario?
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it what Ali explains, because I had it when I played against France. I come on the field, you understand? I come on the field, I look around me and I go like, okay, Tressinger? Okay, yes, difficult, very, very difficult. Then I see Thierry Henry coming. Okay, I said, them two? And I was playing center half at that time. Oh, I had to chase them down like crazy. So yes, I understand the feeling. When you sometimes play against top individuals, it's great because now you can match yourself to where you are as an individual, and that's what you want as a player. But it also tells you like, okay, it's not only your country's got good players. Now they've proven that France got great players. So that's what I came across in my national team period.
I don't think I was ever intimidated by teams or players. But when original Ronaldo, when Fenomeno, was walking to get on the field, as we're about to start the match, you don't realize how big he was and how thick.
Yeah.
And he was built like a brick house, but could move and fly with the ball in his feet. And you're seeing it firsthand, and you go, "Yeah, guys, we don't have that.
Yeah,
we don't have that. We have me
down on the floor saying that.
We have me, and I'm not that."
I am so agree with you, Ali. If there is one man that brought me to a stadium, no, two guys brought me to a stadium. It was freezing cold. I was 16, and I had only a pass at Ajax to go freely to watch the first team play. I was in the youth team as an Ajax player. It was Romario, and I don't know if people are familiar with him because he was incredibly good. And then the next thing, Romario leaves and Ronaldo comes. Yeah. I'm going to the stadium again on my own. Nobody around me, 16 years old, and I'm watching Ajax PSV, and them two were playing. Oh my God. they were like, I was thinking at one point, then I'm telling you, I wanted to be a pro. I was thinking, do I need all this stuff to be able to compete with this kind of guys? I don't know what's going to happen in my career to make it. Oh, honestly, they were good. Good.
And you made it, Mario. Now you're with us. What a treat.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Mario, what position, finally, do you think Chelsea need to improve to become a contender?
To be a contender, I think, look, when I watch the game against Arsenal, I know they have a lot of wingers and they have a lot of young wingers, but one thing they need balance to make sure that they can be dangerous all the time, and the setup needs to be well for them to. I think they as a team, I don't want to say like they need to have more players, but they have to be dangerous and don't stop. The first half, 20 yards before they got to the goal of Arsenal, they pulled back and tried to control the tempo of the game, and I'm like, finish the action off. Yep. Second half, they start doing it. Okay, Arteta reacted really quickly and changed really quickly. So for me, you understand, for me, I have to make sure that the coach has to understand that this team has to be dangerous all the time. You have to have wingers on the side that are capable of beating a player and scoring a goal. Because beating they can, but scoring, I see too less of it. I want more goals.
Donnarumma's bold spot. It's me, isn't it? That is it. That brings us to the end.
That's unnecessary.
That's unnecessary. That is it. Thank you very much, Mario. Cheers, Ali. We'll be back tomorrow. Of course, I'll focus very much on Barcelona against Atleti in the Copa del Rey.